welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch. This is episode 22, bonus episode. It might be a quickie, but we'll see how long we can go for. We left off last episode talking about our transfers, and we just did our forwards, and we're back now. Chad, How you doing? It's only been, 3 days, but how to get back here?
I mean, it's been a busy 3 days. Transfer window coming to a close. Some deals going down to the wire.
Some of them,
some not making it over the line. Some, I think, a few surprises in there.
Yeah, I would say a couple surprises, and then a couple of Chelsea transfers that, that the one lingered, and we'll talk about that in a second. And then their newest transfer had a bit of a controversy coming in there. Classic Chelsea move, which we'll talk about a little bit, because I found out that was over a year ago when that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll talk about it in a sec. Let's pop our beers and we'll get into it. I am still drinking the Chaflay. So let's pop this bad boy. I still didn't find out where I heard Chaflay from.
No beer for me tonight, but we had some pasta, so I got a nice white wine, little Chardonnay action.
Too.
Oh, nice.
Except, you know what I do when I eat pasta? I drink chocolate milk like a freaking weirdo.
As like a purposeful,
it's like
your pairing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it happened when I was swimming back in the day. It was just chocolate milk and pasta, pure carb.
Ooh. All right, well, teach their own.
And I must say, we are a football podcast, but The Last of Us was not supposed to make me cry. And now they've done it 2 out of 3 episodes. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
That episode was incredible. That's just good TV, like you told a whole story in the span of an hour, right?
Crazy.
And you made people invested and care. And this is not footy related at all, but if you're not watching Last of Us,
what are you doing?
You guys got to watch it.
Yeah. Kristen got home today. She's like, we need to watch Last of Us tonight. I was like, you're saying this? She's like, all my coworkers are talking about, we need to watch it tonight. I was like, great, let's do it. So yeah, Nick Offerman, shout outs. That was a great performance. But anyway, let's dive in here, Chad. I think we're probably on the same page with a lot of these. If I had to guess, I think our defenders might be a little different from each other. Maybe not by much, but I'm just kind of going with what I saw and who stood out. Teams that might need help, and I know points will go there quickly, and some bigger name teams. So where do you want to start?
I think let's just go through the mid.
Okay.
Since we got it, because we got our strikers figured out.
Yep. Gakpo, João Felix, and Trossard.
Yeah. So, I mean, the easiest pick in the midfield has got to be McKinney, right?
USA. Yeah, no, McKinney's in for sure. I don't know if I expect him to get a ton of points, but I just want to know what he's doing. I want to be looking at his stats every week.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he's. I mean, like, as Americans, I think he's going to be exciting to watch just because he has Tyler Adams there to link up with in the midfield, but then also Brendan Aronson, and then you bring in Jesse Marsch as his coach, and it's just like this whole American contingent, which we already talked about, but like. It's exciting. I'm glad to see some of our key players for the national team be working together now, at least for the rest of this season. I don't know if they'll continue on. But,
and it's kind of a bummer they have such an amazing keeper in Meslier, but Matt Turner on that squad would just like complete me.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking about it when I watched the Arsenal versus City game in the FA Cup. Like, every time Matt Turner's come in, he's looked pretty good. I wonder if in the summer he'll go to a team to get that starting role, because I mean, he came from New England, I think he was at, so like he was starting there, came in here and is obviously like backup / League Cup, and he'll probably get Europa and stuff, and which is great, but I think he's just too good to be just a backup at this point. But,
it'll be interesting in the summertime to see where he wants to go and who has room for him. Now, Meslier puts up crazy stats. He does have great performances, but like, is he Leeds guy for the future? I don't know. It just wouldn't surprise me if they make a switch, especially if things go bad in the future and they got to do crazy things. But anyway, we're on agreement on that one. My next one I didn't think was going to happen, and then it happened. Enzo Martinez, record-breaking transfer signing, $120 million, beating out the Jack Grealish $100 million signing. Chad, is this guy worth $120 million?
I have no idea. Like, first I heard of him was in the World Cup, and kept a little bit of an eye on him there, and he definitely had some good performances. Like, nothing so stand out that I would feel like any club would think like we need to get him now.
What does Chelsea need right now? Because they want everything.
Yeah.
But what do they need?
Yeah.
Isn't it a striker? Am I crazy for saying
like they definitely need a striker, but they also do need that creativity to come from somewhere. Like we talked about it earlier in the season, where they just kind of pass around and nothing gets created. Which
that should be Kovacic. Kovacic should be that guy, and I don't know why he's not being that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it Chelsea in past seasons has not been terrible, so you would think you'd almost kind of keep that formula going. And Potter comes in, so he'll make his tweaks, but for the most part, you shouldn't be sitting in 10.
Is it the Conte effect? Since Conte just hasn't been in there in a while, like, was he the glue?
I don't think so.
I didn't think so either. I'm just trying to think of what did they have in the past that's now missing or gone?
Yeah, I mean,
because their squad hasn't changed that much,
and that's the thing. Like,
it will, like, tomorrow.
Well, yeah. I don't really know what has caused their steep decline, but with I think they brought in 8 new signings in just this window.
So is that 15, 16 on the year now? Because it was only a week ago when we talked about all their transfers, and I think it was at 14, and now I think they've brought in 3 more.
Yeah, something like that. So
it's a dumb
they brought in, basically a whole new squad, and fair enough. Every team will go through the rebuilds. Just generally, they're a little bit more drawn out instead of in a 6-month period. But
it's ridiculous.
If you got the cash to splash, go for it.
It's the saying. It takes money to earn money. Something stupid like that. It's just dumb how much they spent. 3 times the amount of La Liga, Bundesliga, and League One.
Yeah, which
is what they spent.
To be fair, like, those leagues, just like Premier League itself is, a more profitable league and has more money in it anyway. But I mean, they've spent over 300 million in just January, right? Like, that's an absurd number. Granted, you got 8 players for that, so like, if it were evenly spread out, like, 8 players for 300 million is like not crazy, but most of that was Enzo, Mudryk, and then maybe the Badiashile or Fofana or something. Like, those are your big buys, but I don't know. Like, we can get into a whole financial fair play.
We already talked about that, and it's enough Chelsea. No more Chelsea talk. But did you have Enzo on your list?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
Once he was confirmed, it was like,
you
got to throw him in there at this point, right? Like, they're not going to spend that much money to not play him. Well, I would think, but we'll see.
All right, and who's your last nomination? Because I think we have the same one.
I would think so. Coming into today, I didn't really know, and then as it all played out, I had to go with Sabitzer.
Sabitzer. Okay. Yep. Sabitzer. Yep. Okay. Interesting. I went the opposite of you. I went Jorginho because I didn't expect that to happen
Oh,
today.
really? Really?
Um, yeah, I just feel like he'll be playing a lot with Arsenal, and Arsenal is getting a lot of clean sheets, and I don't know how this guy's going to find. I feel like it's going to take this guy a little bit longer to get in, Spitzer to get into Man U squad. Because I think Fred is going to come in right away to take over for Ericsson.
See, I think Sabitzer's the Ericsson replacement.
You think
Like,
right away?
yeah, maybe not first game, but I think fairly quick.
Okay, that's my argument. I think Jorginho is going to find his way into the Arsenal squad really
Mm,
quickly.
I don't think so.
Dude, he already knows Premier League. He's so much
Yeah,
more knowledgeable on the fact. Ooh, I like when we don't agree on something because it doesn't happen often. But
but you got to understand, Jorginho was like basically brought in to be Thomas Partey cover. So as long
okay,
as Thomas is healthy, he's probably playing, unless it's just a lesser team where we need to rotate or something anyway. So
who's taking a majority of Arsenal's PKs right now? Is it Saka?
yeah,
All of
Saka's
them?
our yeah.
Okay. Because to be fair, Jorginho has a crazy PK
I
rate.
don't know. I don't know how he
I don't know either. It doesn't
like
his PKs look like they suck,
it's that little hop, skip, and a jump, and
but
it
he's
throws
good
off
at
every
it. But he's
keeper.
good at
He's
it.
really good at it, and so I mean, if they're both on the pitch and there's a PK, I think you probably still go Saka just because he has been your number one taking it. But I don't know.
But if
I
he
don't know now.
misses, Jorginho's going to be saying, "Hey, look at my rate." Let's. I am curious at his PK rate though.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, since we're talking about Jorginho, I just want to say, like, in the Arsenal fan base, it's been like very mixed um, reactions, I guess.
mhm.
And like immediately, my reaction was like, I was just kind of whelmed. Like it was
Yeah,
Jorginho. Like he's a good player. He's fine, but when you're initially, well, first you get like the summer transfer rumors of Declan Rice in the coming summer, like so that's exciting. And then you have the Caicedo
yeah.
saga, which is like exciting, but like you would have way overpaid. Is it, like
I think it's a
initially,
good
yeah,
move. I think it's a good move
yeah,
to make.
yeah.
Um,
And initially, I think I was just a little bit like meh, but
mhm.
then once I started to actually think about it, it was like, okay, yeah, it's good cover, you know, plenty of Premier League experience and leadership at Chelsea. Um,
I think
plus,
he'll slot right in.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a 1 year deal with an option for a second year, so like it's not some crazy contract that Arsenal has done in the past for 30-plus-year-old players, or it's like a few years on a high wage, and now you're just kind of stuck with them. So it's like I think it was pretty smart business, and obviously not the first choice, but also kind of wild for Chelsea to just let him go.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
surprised by that too. Like, why it doesn't to me? That guy's been around your squad for so long and kind of
Yeah.
knows the ins and outs, and like I feel like he can handle controversy and can kind of keep the team under like control. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. Um, I just looked up Jorginho stats and Saka stats.
Mhm.
Saka doesn't take too many penalties though, right? I mean, Arsenal doesn't get a whole lot of PKs anyway.
I mean, this season I think would be the first that he was like nailed on like number one PK
Okay,
taker, because before that it was definitely Aubameyang and
mm,
then mixed in with like a Lacazette and sometimes like Pepe. So
okay. Well,
I
I
think
think career-wise, he's only scored 5,
really,
which
wow,
feels really low, right?
it does, yeah.
That's what transfer market's telling me within his 3-year Premier League tenure.
Yeah,
Jorginho, on the other hand, he is 41 for 48. So
sheesh,
that's a lot.
it's a lot. I mean, that's a good return too. It's
With Chelsea, he's gone 23 for 26.
damn,
That's pretty good.
it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, I don't. I guess if they're both on the pitch and it comes up,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see who takes it. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how often Jorginho will be starting games at least. I think we might see him sub in a lot just to, give Thomas Partey some rest. And
if you think Sabitzer is going to start right away, I will grant you that transfer.
I think it's more likely that he, gets in more frequently than Jorginho would.
That was a surprise transfer, though. I didn't see that one coming. But when Eriksen went down, I guess it doesn't make sense. You needed.
I don't know that it would have happened had he not gone down, but I mean, it's a good pickup. Like he's
Definitely
a good midfielder. He kind of has those same qualities that Eriksen has. So
I dodged a freaking bullet not keeping Eriksen on my squad.
I don't know. You could have kept him for a little bit longer. He had some good games up until he went out, but
he did. But Casemiro had 2 goals last weekend. That really made up for it. So, all right, cool. Sabitzer, Weston, and Enzo for our midfield. Let's go to our defenders. I'm going to go with, and I'm so sorry for pronouncing his name wrong, Jakub Kiwior from Spezia Calcio to Arsenal.
You're taking, I think it's Kiwior.
Kiwior. Kiwior.
Yeah, something like that.
Which, by the way,
Polish. So
his profile picture on Transfermarkt, I thought it was AI generated.
Really?
Oh, dude.
Like, go look at this.
I had to like zoom in on it because I thought his face was fake.
God,
look at it. It doesn't look real.
Okay, yeah, it does look like it almost looks like you just like AI generated like male 20-something football player and just like
make your screen 50% zoom out and then it really looks like default face from FIFA. Cause like a little shiny. See?
That's it.
That's my pick.
We're hacking the mainframe here and taking the AI
not real
all the way.
I figured that's good backup just in case things go wrong there. I feel like Saliba has been a little quiet lately, so I don't know what's going on. If he's still that, as bold as he once was. Ben White seems to be a little shy and maybe a little knocked up. I don't think this guy will be playing right back or anything like or White's realm of positioning, but for me, it was like I saw Arsenal on there, and I heard about this guy as kind of a bigger transfer for Arsenal this winter. So that's why I'm picking him.
Okay. I see. I think again you're going to run into the issue. I don't know how much he's going to play because I think he's really the backup for Gabriel because he's another left-footed center back.
Chad, I won't lie to you. We're at like the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah, I think you're missing some really easy options.
Okay. Well, that's again. I got 4 more to go. That's just one I'm starting with. Okay. Give me your next one, and let's see if he's on my list.
Okay. Since you went young, new defender, I'm gonna go right there with you. Again, I might not pronounce this correctly, but. Yeah. Zabarny?
Is that Ilya?
Bournemouth?
Yeah, Bournemouth. I got him. Yeah, from Ukraine. Yep.
Yeah,
Ukrainians are coming out.
I think he's. I think he's going to get a good shout of starting. He has decent amount of caps for Ukraine already. He's played a lot of Champions League qualifying and Europa League. Like. Dude's been playing, even though I think he's like 20 or something.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, 20. So,
but a Bournemouth squad that needs help, and it's like worth a shot throwing a young guy out there.
Yeah. I think I feel confident that he'll get some good looks for sure.
Okay. All right, we're in agreement on that one. My next one will probably be slotted right into this team as well, and there's only one player on our whole. Fantasy league that has a team or has a player from this team, João Gomes from Flamengo. He's going to the Wolves, and he'll be playing center back there. And can you tell me 2 center backs from Wolverhampton? Took too long.
I know they got.
It's okay, Chad. It's okay. Because this is why.
Connor Cody over and over.
Yeah, I know. Connor Cody, Willie Bolly. Like, we're right there.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because no one knows about this team besides the Portuguese midfield and a couple of their strikers. So it's good to see a name that we can maybe grow familiar with the Wolves. Young Brazilian. I'm sure he'll, be right in that squad really quickly. I'm sure we don't even track a Wolves defender, so we don't even know what they're doing in terms of clearances and blocks. So just seeing a name go in there, that's I'm trying to just pick teams here that we need more information on. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, just looking at a lot of the signings they made, it seems to be a lot of I guess a good mix kind of like young, promising players and just like experience. Like they brought in Craig Dawson from West Ham. Like dude will probably make a couple appearances, but you're not
locker room
buying
guy.
a 32-year-old to like throw into your team to try and fight for survival. I think it's very much going to be like a locker room, like come in when he's needed, but
set the tone a little bit. But we're not going to get mad at you when you aren't going to be that guy.
And they spent 18, almost 19 million on João Gomez. They're playing the guy.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this one's probably on your list. Pedro Porro.
Oh, I thought about it, but he didn't make it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising. Because this is apparently like the dude that Conte wanted for his right wing back. So
because Doherty's out now.
Well, yeah, they sent him to Atletico, which is maybe a little bit weird, but
it's the Trippier effect.
Yeah, we'll see.
Same thing.
But yeah, I mean, I think Pedro Porro is them signing him. Feels a little bit weird, I think, because every indication is pointing to Conte leaving in the summer when his contract is up.
I know.
And this feels like a signing clearly that Conte wanted because he's kind of talked about him before. But it feels like they made the signing in an effort to get Conte back on their side and maybe stay. And even with this, I don't think the dude's staying. He seems just kind of done, wants to rinse his hands of this project and move on.
See, I think he wants to deflate his value. So where every club he goes next, he's going to swoop in for him.
That's not a bad shout. I don't know how intentional that might be, but it
wouldn't be shocking.
No, because I mean, Conte kind of does that with a handful of players, right?
Well, yeah, a handful, but the Perisic.
Yeah, exactly.
The Lukaku's. I'm sure we could just keep running down this list, but he does that. He gets in their head and says, I'm going to come for you later. And they're like, okay. And then eventually he does for a much cheaper price. So that would not surprise me in any way if...
Okay.
Maybe
Mark
he doesn't...
down.
Yeah, actually.
Because I could see something happening like this. Because, look, Juventus is struggling now. Allegri's clearly not the guy to bring them back to glory. Conte... Maybe have a little redemption arc over at Juventus, and what? We need a new right back. This Pedro Porro guy.
It could happen. I don't believe. I don't know Juventus that well, but is Cuadrado still playing their right back position or right wing back? Wow, he's been there for so long.
I want to say he's still there. I don't know how much he's playing, but. Let's see real quick.
As you search, I'm going to give my next shout here.
Sure.
Malo Guspo from Lyon. He is signed to Chelsea. I know, another Chelsea player.
Wait. I think this guy got loaned back.
Oh, did I mess up my transfer?
Sure. I'm pretty sure he did.
He went from Chelsea to Lyon?
No, yeah, I think they signed him, but he's loaned back.
Oh, they pulled a tricksy on me?
I think so.
Dude, I was like, with Reece James out and all this other injury crap to Chelsea, this guy might get slotted in pretty quickly. But if that's the case,
I feel like I read that earlier today when I was looking.
Okay.
Yeah, Gusto will stay at the club for the rest of the season.
Oh,
Leon.
come on. All right.
Yikes.
Well, they took a picture of him in the freaking kit and then said, I guess we'll see you later.
Get out of here.
Okay, well then scratch that. We're gonna go Matthias Vina from AC Roma, no longer wanted by Mourinho, but is gonna get brought into a struggling Bournemouth left back spot. Again, I could see him being brought in fairly quickly since they're trying to regroup their back line. He was my honorable mention, but now I think we just go for it. So, he's Uruguayan. He's been playing with Roma and Lazio, and he's I think he's played with the Uruguayan national team. I think he was there in the World Cup. Just solid, just a dude who can come in there and hold his own, especially when they got that young Zabrari guy. Let's call him Ilya. I know how to say that one. So yeah, that was. Go ahead.
He has 28 caps with Uruguay.
Okay, yeah. So again, a guy who's been around and like, he's got to be what, 25, 26, somewhere in there. 25. Yeah, I think Bournemouth is doing the right signings for where they are at in the world. He must not again. We don't know Serie A, but Mourinho just probably wasn't playing him, and it was time.
Yeah. And I mean, I think overall Bournemouth has made some really smart signings. Like they clearly know they're at the bottom of the table, kind of fighting for survival.
Yep.
And I think between Zabarny and Viña, like you're signing some decent defenders. You already have like Chris Mepham's decent. They have Sensi, I think his name is.
Jack Stevens, baby.
If he plays, he's a figment of our imagination, honestly. But okay, I think I can challenge you on that one a little bit.
Okay.
My thinking here was Harry Sutar.
Time to Google.
He signed for Leicester City from Stoke for 17 million.
Ooh.
24-year-old center back. The way that Leicester's been, setting up, they don't have too much of like youth, I guess, in their center back. They've been playing that Feist guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, Soyuncu's not getting a look. Vestergaard's not getting a look. So clearly Rodgers is just like done with the old dudes, even though Soyuncu's only 26. But I don't know. He's clearly not in Rodgers' plans. I don't know why he's still there. But again, I think you bring someone in for 17 million, especially being Leicester, where they apparently didn't have any money to really sign anyone in the summer. Like, he's probably getting some good play time.
You would think so, but we all thought that with Vestergaard too, and we haven't seen. I think if we didn't stat track every weekend, we would notice him on the pitch. Chad, I think that guy's been on the field like no more than 6 times in the last year.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Quality to just, I hate you.
Like, yeah, he was a good fantasy pick, and seemed a good defender. From his I think he went from Southampton to
yeah, he was Bednarak's dude.
Bednarak and Vestergaard. Yeah, they were both kind of held down that back line.
You either had one or the other.
Yeah.
And they split up that dynamic duo for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. When was that? Was that 2 years ago when those guys were playing?
Well, Bednarak technically is still on Southampton.
Yeah.
took a little vacation to Aston Villa and didn't play.
So Bednarak, I think it was 2021 when we were still seeing him go.
Yeah, I feel like that sounds good.
We all subbed him out. Maybe he got hurt, but him and Bednarak was, I'm doing a quick scan here, top 5 point getter.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Vestergaard got subbed in October and was maybe out of everyone's squad by February, it looks like, and put up 100 points.
I think he did pick up a decent injury, or it was enough of like a mystery around his injury where everyone had to kind of jump ship. But
you know what I think people did? I think they just went from Vestergaard to Bednarak.
Probably. I mean, either one of those was just a solid signing, you know? But, so I don't know. I think I'd lean to my pick over yours, honestly, but only because
over Vina?
Vina, only because we already have Zabarny.
Yeah. No, I'm not a huge fan of right backs and left backs in our league, just because they're not clearance getters, and if they're not on Newcastle, or they're not part of Liverpool's dynamic attack that doesn't exist anymore, I would consider it different. But there just weren't a lot of center backs that were getting transferred. So if I could have gone all center backs and I knew they were going to start QER Jacob from Spezia, that was like, I didn't know much about him. I just figured maybe. Go ahead.
To be fair, like I think he's a good signing, but I think he's just going to play more of that cover. Okay. He played every match for Poland in the World Cup. Like he's 22, I think. Like he's clearly a promising talent, but Gabriel, partly because he doesn't have any true cover up until now, I think he started like 54, 55 games in a row for Arsenal. So I think he's just kind of nailed in as your starter. So that's kind of my only thing of there might not be enough game time to get like a real good picture of his stats.
I'm okay with that. I think we still got a solid back four here. So just recap, we're gonna go Ilya, João Gomes from Flamengo, making sure. So know him. Remind me of Sutar, Souttar. Say that. Sutar. And remind me of my last one here.
I think we go Pedro Porro. But I don't know if you got another mention. Then
no, I'd rather have starting quote unquote big six teams. Just to kind of see what they do. Is it Pedro Porro?
Yeah, Porro.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet, cool. Keeper.
Gotta be Keylor Navas.
What
Nottingham Forest. What a signing.
Yeah, what's gonna happen there?
So, from what I've seen, Dean Henderson has like an injury. He's out for 6 weeks.
Okay.
You brought in Keylor Navas. I don't think you give up the starting role back to Dean Henderson over Keylor Navas, right? Like,
not if they're winning.
Yeah, like this feels like that signing to, I mean, in conjunction with the like 20 other signings they made this year, to really make sure you stay up, right? Like someone's gonna hold down that goal line. Yeah, that's kind of what I think where they might be at. Of like, they spent a lot in the summer and hoped they would be a little bit safer than they are, and now they're at the winter window, and it's like not exactly panic mode because you're not sitting in relegation, but you're close enough where you gotta make sure you stay up. You've spent almost like 200 million in both windows now and together. And if you spend all that and then go straight back down, like I can't imagine your finances in the club are gonna be able to survive that.
They won't recover. That's too hefty of a fall.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, Dean Henderson's been great for them, but with the experience and just the ability of Keylor Navas, I don't know that you can remove him unless he just doesn't perform it for us. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, they got to. If they're losing games, then that's the only way I think Henderson gets back in.
Yeah,
which sucks because I think he is a good keeper, but given the circumstances of what that team is about to go through, yeah, too risky.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I like it. Some agreements and some disagreements, which we're not really known for, and I kind of wish we had more of them. But
well, I mean, I think we did pretty good considering winter windows. There's not a ton of movement.
Yeah.
So to have some argument and debate there, I think is pretty good.
It is. I know it's needed. I know. I'm saying it was nice to see some disagreements on certain players, but yeah, it's still slim pickings. We are, our player pool now has to have close to 100 in there.
Probably
close.
Yeah, we'll have to
give it a now we have count. If we have 11 more going in, everyone's transferring in and out. We've seen a couple newbies that haven't been chosen. I mean, hell, I think my whole midfield is new. March, Casemiro, and
yeah, who do you have?
Oh man, I don't remember. It's been
here. I'll look for you.
Oh, Odegaard.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, you didn't bring an Odegaard, but
Alistair
beat you to the punch. But,
yeah.
But yeah, whole new midfields. I mean, Mudrik's already in. If not, he would have probably been in this team. But I'm kind of glad because now we get João Felix in here because I wouldn't have wanted to take both of them.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But
we didn't take. Did we take two of the same team or one of the? No, I don't think we did. Do we have any repeats?
We did good. I think we're all spread out. Oh no, Enzo and João Felix.
Oh yeah. All right, that's not bad though. That's not bad. That's because Chelsea.
They're buying everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Do you have any honorable mentions in there?
I really not so much of players that got transferred. I just really want to track James Maddison.
Yeah. So I mean, he just got to stay healthy.
I know he's playing. He played last week, but I'm just saying, I would much rather track him than Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
So my nomination is to make that transfer because Lingard. Does he have Does he have over 10 points?
I think he's out of the team, honestly. I think brought him in hoping he would bring that kind of veteran experience and stuff, and he performed well for West Ham when he was on loan there, but he just hasn't done it. He's another Dele Alli at this point, just career just plummeting off a cliff.
He has 38 points. That's actually a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, but I don't think he's playing really anymore. Yeah, I don't know the last time he's actually played.
You transferred in Rashford 2 weeks ago, and he has more points than him.
That's it. See?
So.
Yeah, out. Make the Maddison switch for sure. I did have a couple honorable mentions myself.
Bring them.
Well, of course, I just had to throw Anthony Gordon in there because Newcastle, he was really their only signing basically they brought in, and he's, I don't know if it's just because he's English, but he's apparently has the potential to be great.
Good for Everton for selling that man high. Still high-ish.
I mean, yeah, for them, I think both parties there probably win, right? Anthony Gordon started the season decent. He has attraction from now a top club. get out of Everton. Everton's a sinking ship at this point. Everton, you get the 40, 45 million, whatever it is for him. Not that they spent anything, but I think you both walk away fine.
That's so much money for him, though. That's like,
yeah,
my
for
God,
sure.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Then shout outs to Weghorst for his transfer, because I mean that's not bad. I don't know what Man U's really expecting, but
for real, he's just a stopgap until they go for Harry Kane in the summer. Gotta be.
Yeah, but Madrid, they're gonna be fighting. I just saw a little rumor thing, like they said we're not buying. They said something like we're not buying him in the winter. And it's like, well, that was vague.
I just don't know that
Kane would want it.
Kane would go. Like,
yeah.
I mean, already a lot of English players don't really go abroad, but I don't know. You know, if Kane moves to United, he finally has a better chance at winning a trophy, if not the league or FA Cup or something. So I think he probably sticks to that route over going to Madrid, which I think he'd be great at Madrid too. They got Vinicius and I think it's Rodrigo is their other winger. So I mean, they got good wingers, and like you got Modric behind you. Like he'll feed you good passes, but I think he'd probably stay in England.
He'd be good on Man U too. Man U would be really interesting next year, especially on who you pick.
It'll be a rough decision.
It's like the De Bruyne Holland situation.
That's it. It's going to be that. Yeah. Look, another honorable mention here. I'm going to butcher the name, but
hit me.
Oh my God. Ouattara?
Oh man, I don't know who you're talking about, Chad.
He's another one of the Bournemouth signings. He's had in 18 appearances for FC Lorient in Ligue 1. He's had 6 goals and 6 assists in 18 appearances. He's a winger for them.
Dango?
I don't know if that's his first name. I only wrote down his last name.
Yeah, it is.
So, 20-year-old, 6 and 6 and 18 in the French league, like different level of competition for sure. But I mean, that's good output,
Oh, he already got an assist in the Premier League.
Oh, has he really?
Yeah.
See, he's off to a good start.
He is.
So, I didn't think it was enough to get rid of any of our front three, but worth mentioning to maybe just like kind of keep an eye on what he does with Bournemouth.
Yeah, because can't tell you a lot of Bournemouth players at this moment in time, but we'll be paying attention because I think he's only 5'10". He looks really lengthy, so 20, that's a good age. A good age.
Yeah. And my last one was Leicester City signed Tete from where did he come from? Shakhtar, I think.
Yep.
Shakhtar, yeah, 22 winger. He has 6 goals and 3 assists in 17 appearances for Lyon. So again, decent output. Should help Leicester in the goal scoring department. But Leicester's biggest thing, I think, has just been holding on to games and closing them out, which I don't know if this will help.
And starting a 36-year-old striker.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the plan is with that.
Get Xhaka in more.
There is one transfer we have to talk about. João Cancelo.
Oh, I know.
Leaves City to go to Bayern.
Can you believe
what
that?
happened?
Well, he claims there was he didn't claim. The media claims there was a blow up with Pep in the parking lot or on the pitch or at the training grounds. But he claims that didn't happen.
I don't know details, but clearly something between him and Pep, right? Because dude wasn't starting every game, but started most games and always put in good performances. And now all of a sudden, I feel like rather quickly it went from playing for City to like we didn't see him for a couple games, and now he's off to Bayern. And I think he just signed a new deal like last summer or the summer before or something.
I think Nathan Ake had a really good World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And Cancelo just had a fine World Cup. And I think Pep wanted to ride this momentum train with Ake. And I read some report where Ake was going to play this upcoming weekend and Cancelo wasn't, and that's what set him off.
I mean, fair. I mean, yeah, I guess Cancelo's probably the better attacking option, but Nathan Ake is probably definitely better defensively, I'd say. But maybe just a little bit more well balanced between attack and defense.
Yeah, Cancelo doesn't really play defense. Like, he's just all over the pitch. Like,
Yeah.
which is like kind of what Pep's like. He reminds me of Zinchenko and like what he did with that, where he didn't really have a position that he needs to like be stable in. So yeah, that's a weird one. That might be the highest profile player in all of our transfers. I mean, he's up there. You know, it's like that was a weird one.
Well, I mean, I think at this point he's gone in the summer. I don't know that Bayern go for him because I feel like they have pretty good defensive depth anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My thinking, which might be a little crazy, is that Liverpool maybe go for him. The only issue being he does have a 70 million buyout clause, but with such a clear deterioration of the relationship and like doesn't want to be at the club doesn't want him, you could probably negotiate that to much lower, right?
Yeah.
Granted, Liverpool is a rival, but they sold Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus, and Zinchenko for fair prices.
And Sterling went to Man City after Liverpool, so I mean, it happens.
Yeah. So,
do you know who Liverpool's starting at right back against Real Madrid in Champions League in 2 weeks?
I don't even know who's.
Do you know who has to guard Vinicius Jr. in 2 weeks now?
I don't know who's healthy on Liverpool anymore. It's like Salah and some kids.
37-year-old James motherfucking Milner, Chad.
That guy, if he doesn't get a statue at the end of this, whether he's done enough to earn it or not, he's played enough roles to just help the team build him the statue. Name a stand after him.
Dude's going to need crutches after this game because he's just going to be chasing.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this to him? I feel so bad for him. This is the guy that should be like super sub 92nd minute saying like, yo, hey, high fives all around. Like, we did it. Instead,
he's got to be like super sub, just like locker room dude. But unfortunately,
we're saying go guard the fastest man in the game right now.
Well,
we're going to get smoked.
Well, okay, since you brought up Liverpool, I feel like we have to talk about them a little bit.
There's nothing to talk about.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, of all positions that they needed to sign, I don't know that spending the money on Gakpo was worth it, right? Like, granted, your front line was dead, but I think a solid midfielder probably would have been the smarter decision. I don't know.
Seeing Jorginho go for this price, I would have been like, why not? Just take a shot on him.
Well, that too. I mean, I guess maybe they just weren't thinking about it, or
I don't know, man.
They're really just saving all their money and trying to throw everything at Jude Bellingham in the summer. But
I think that's what it is. I really do. But it's like, why couldn't we just do that now?
I mean that too. Like it's just such a risk because every top club's gonna at least throw something in there. And with the way that Chelsea's spending now,
they might do it too.
they're gonna definitely put their name in the hat for Jude Bellingham. Like,
so stupid. Yeah, they might miss out because they weren't urgent enough.
yeah.
And you know what? They kind of deserve it.
Yeah,
You gotta fight for your players.
I'm kind of, like I'm kind of thinking at this point, club and ownership has just kind of like written this season off, and I feel like it's just, a big rebuild is gonna start. I don't know that it'll happen as quickly as like a Chelsea rebuild, but I think if you can get those key players, like when Van Dijk came in, he really elevated the defense. I mean, keeper's set. You don't have to worry about that. Front line even is set as long as some players can stay healthy. But it's just that midfield, I think, is just kind of aged out, and you don't have enough liveliness in there now.
Thanks, Chad. But honestly, on a real note here, I don't think ownership is willing to spend money right now because they're trying to sell the club. So
it's probably fair.
Why put in this investment into the future when you might not be there in 6 months or hell, say if it's a year, even a year from now. They if they're really trying to sell, they're not going to put their money where their mouth was 2-3 years ago. So,
and I mean, even with a bad season, bad 2 seasons or whatever, like Liverpool's market cap isn't going to fluctuate that much. Like Salah's, like the biggest Egyptian player, so you have like every Egyptian fan essentially. You got Van Dijk, who's a big name. You got Alisson in the back, big name.
Diaz,
Trent, Diaz. You have all these big names, and just Jurgen Klopp himself, like you have a bunch of followers. So yeah, like it doesn't seem so like pertinent that like you got to spend now just to like keep your value high. I think that value won't fluctuate enough for it to like really be a dent in the valuation.
Yeah, I'm not worried about players not wanting to come to Liverpool. No, not at all. It's more so I'm worried other teams are going to come in and swoop harder because they have more urgency.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but hopefully this ownership thing gets figured out over the summer or early summer, I guess, preferably. So then you have most of the window to deal with it. But it's just a hard spot to be of like your owners are trying to move on, but like the team is still, competing and playing in seasons. So
still trying to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's but again, like we had a really good run, so to be upset for a year, like kind of worth it. Yeah. I would take a year of being upset with the amount of wins we got in the last couple of years. One more, I think, Premier League trophy would have been nice, but like City was just stupidly good too. So
it
sucks that they were as awesome as we. I mean, it really like neck and neck all the way up to the finish for the last, I don't know, 3 out of 5 years or something. So it's just a little shitty on that note, but Jude is the focus for next summer. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting if this ownership is like, we're going to sell some players too, because that's like the flip side of it. If they're not buying, they might sell. And
true.
Like, Salah's a name they might try to sell, or if like they're really going to go deep into this thing, like sell Virgil, sell Salah, sell the names that are still like worthy, right? Like that could get dark really quick.
Yeah. I would hope they don't go that route.
They could lose Klopp. I think if that happens, Klopp's out.
Yeah. If they start selling off big names, I think for sure, because then project's over and it's
he's not rebuilding.
Not just a rebuild of some key positions. It's you got to like do the whole team, and that's a couple years long project. Because I mean, I don't know. You look at Everton right now, and they're. I think they're probably going down, honestly. Like, you brought in Sean Dyche, which is a really smart managerial appointment because he could keep you up and like your back line is, Tarkowski and Cody, who are like, Tarkowski's already been with him.
Mm-hmm.
Pickford's good. Cody's generally good. But to bring in no help in the winter window and just like, this is the squad we're going with.
Losing Gordon.
Yeah. So
Calvert-Lewin's got to put the team on his back.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Arsenal go there on Saturday, so
fun. That should be a good one.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not that new manager bounce and they get one over on Arsenal, but man. But I mean, I guess since we talked Everton, after these signings, who's your relegation picks?
Well, it's still Everton for sure. I think it's still the Wolves.
Okay.
That third one though is still tricky. Is it so wrong for me to think Leicester?
Not necessarily.
I think Southampton is probably the better team.
So I mean, Southampton sits last place right now. I mean, tied on points with Everton.
I think it's gonna be them. I think it's them three.
You're going Everton, Southampton, Wolves?
Yeah. Quote me.
Okay. I think Southampton will get out. I think the signings they made should.
That's why I didn't. That's why instinctually I didn't say them. But when we said they're in last, I'm like, oh yeah, like.
Yeah, but I mean, they're tied basically with Everton in last place at 15 points, and safety right now is 17 points.
I know. There's like six teams like all within a 3-point range of being relegated.
I mean, Leicester's on 18 points and they're in 14th. So
yeah,
you got anyone in that last 6 is a viable target.
I'm not confident with any of those answers I just said. 2 months, give me 2 months, and I'll probably have a much more.
We'll look at it again.
Yeah, like I'm sure we'll look at it every week. That seems to like it's such a fun thing to focus on. I
think my only like outlier chance there is going to be West Ham. They didn't really. I mean, they brought in Danny Ings, but he got injured right away.
What's his timeline?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet, but I mean, beyond that, like they aren't really scoring that much. They have 25 goals scored, and like it's on the low end for sure. I mean, even Southampton has 35 goals scored. They just can't defend.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think Everton I think goes down, but Sean Dyche has that Burnley in him, to survive.
He always kept Burnley up until he just eventually couldn't. Yeah.
So he's their only hope at this point. Otherwise, Everton's the only one I feel confident about, honestly.
I agree. When's the last time they won a game?
It's been a while. At least
I'm going deep.
The last 5.
Wow. Okay. The last game they won. Making sure I'm reading this right. I think I am. October 22nd. They won 3-0. Who do you think they beat?
3-0? My gosh, who got embarrassed? 3-0. Was it?
I'll tell you this. They've won 3 games this season.
Yeah,
they've beat West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Southampton.
Okay. So maybe some relegation.
And this other team is
3-0. I think they just pulled it out against like Aston Villa.
Oh, you're so close. I think your next guess you would get it. Because it's like Aston Villa 2.0.
2.0. Oh, it's got to be Leicester.
No, darn. It's Crystal Palace.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at them, but Yeah, Palace is a weird one.
They're kind of sucking right now too, Chad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
They've lost 6 out of their last 9 and only won 1 out of those 9.
yeah, they're
They could
kind of
keep
like
falling.
that's true. They're definitely in a bad run of form.
They've only
I don't-
beat shitty teams.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
really shitty teams. Bournemouth, Southampton, Wolves, West Ham, and Villa at the first game of the season. Oh no, I'm sorry. Third game of the season.
Well, the only team you mentioned there that's above them is Villa, and they're only above them by 1 point. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Leeds? They beat Leeds.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Or no, Villa's above them by.
Oh,
4
the only
points.
team that's above them? Yeah, that's only. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, we gotta just check this later on. It's
That's not a bad
it's just
team.
so tight at the bottom. Like, I don't know. Bournemouth signings looked promising. I think Southampton made some good signings. Wolves again brought in a lot of just like experience, so I think that could maybe see them through. But I mean, yeah, West Ham like didn't really bring in anyone. Everton didn't bring a soul in.
They didn't make one transfer. Probably not. I don't know why they would.
Well, they got yeah, because this guy's from their U21 team that they promoted to the first team. So
It's ridiculous.
yeah, yikes.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, they're gonna need it. That's for sure.
Oh, Shane Duffy. You recognize that name?
Oh yeah. Where's he at?
He
Fulham?
He went back to Brighton.
Or did he really?
I think so.
Back to Brighton.
I think so. Actually, no. Wait. There's a question mark.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe did Fulham buy him?
I think he was on loan at Fulham, but
That's what I thought.
yeah, it just says end of loan, but then question mark. So maybe they did.
He must be back on Brighton. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to pay attention to that name.
Yeah.
He's been around. Oh my God, he's been around, and he was born in '92.
It's been around a long time.
Shoot.
Oof.
Oh Lordy.
Well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that's all I got to talk about on these transfers.
Yeah, same here. Again, slim pickings. Hard to like bring up bottom of the barrel dudes that we're unsure about, but
Yeah.
it'll be fun. It'll be a fun second half. We got what 17-ish games left for most clubs.
Yeah, 17, 18.
Liverpool's on 19, Brighton's on 19, Arsenal's on 19, and Leeds are on 19. I can't wait till everyone's back on the same freaking games played. That is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, it should happen here pretty quickly, I think.
I think by end of February.
I think so, because Arsenal play their makeup game against City in February, so City probably has a bye to accommodate that, and then I don't know.
Once we hit March 18th, we only do Saturday and Sunday games until April 26th, and then we're still on Saturday and Sunday games till the end of the season.
All right, nice.
So easy viewing.
Yeah.
All right, Chad. Does that wrap it up?
I think so. We got our winter transfer team decided.
We talked some nonsense, and we still went an hour and 4 minutes. How do we do it?
It's how it has to be, you know.
Our quickie was a little longer than a quickie here, but that's how we do.
mean, yeah, it's a lot happened.
We had to digest.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Chad.
Okay.
With that, Hooligans Pitch, episode 22. I'm gonna keep counting all the way up to 100. That's just how we're gonna do it now.
Yeah. And this little bonus episode too.
Whew, I know. 2 in 1 week, crazy, absolutely crazy. All right, Hooligans Pitch.
All right.
We're out. Peace.